to our Department of Agriculture family, to our colleagues in the DA Bureau of Agriculture Research, sa ating mga magsasaka at mga mangingisda. Isang magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. Ako po si Cristina S. Estrada from the Knowledge Management and Information Systems Division of the DA Bureau of Agricultural Research, and I will be your host for today's online seminar for this July. The past weeks po masyado tayong biniliyayaan ng ulan. In fact, upon checking our Philippine festivities for this month, puro po related sa tubig, ulan at harvest ang ating ganap. May mga inabot ng taas ng tubig at may mga nag-worry about soil erosion, not just in land, but also in shore. So today, we are going to talk about something that helps stabilize soil sa tabing dagat, but this time as food. Our favorite, atsara. Officially, the title of the seminar is Atsarang Dampalit, Product, Process, and Market Insights. But before we introduce our speaker and formally start the knowledge sharing, the usual reminders po. So please comment your location and affiliation. Please follow our social media pages in facebook.com/DABARofficial or search nyo lang the Bureau of Agricultural Research. You may also follow us on IG, it's at DABARofficial. And dahil po may policy ang Meta na tatanggalin or tinatanggal ang mga live videos within 30 days, please also follow our YouTube account. It's Bureau of Agricultural Research or at DABARofficial. So you can also type youtube.com/@DABARofficial to visit seminar episodes. And also yung attendance po natin and feedback form. So dalawang forms po yan. You have to answer both within before 12 noon for certificates. And also lastly and most importantly, please magtanong po tayo sa ating expert kasi hindi siya laging andito. So without further ado, I'll be introducing our speaker for today. So our resource speaker earned her Master in Agribusiness Management degree at the Asian Institute of Technology in Thailand. Her expertise is in fishery science and agribusiness management, and she has worked in the conduct of technical studies on fishery supply and value chain, seafood safety and risk assessment, technology commercialization, and community-based enterprise development. She currently works as a science research specialist too at the DA National Fisheries Research and Development Institute. Let's all welcome Ms. Berna Josel Jalin Espaldosa. Good morning, Ms.
Hello,
Berna.
good morning. Good morning, Ma'am Cristina.
Sige po, ma'am, bigay ko na po sa iyo ang floor for a productive discussion. Thank you po.
Thank you po. So, hello, good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us here in the DA Bar online seminar. So, today I will be introducing you to a local innovation that transformed a coastal plant into a marketable product, the pickled sea purslane or atsarang dampalit. So this initiative focuses on maximizing the value of underutilized plant through a simple preservation technique, which is the pickling. So in this presentation, I will be providing you a brief overview of the raw materials, the production process, the key characteristics or the product profile of our atsarang dampalit, the market insights, and cost and return analysis. So additionally, I will be introducing you as well the project beneficiaries and the team behind this initiative. So sea purslane, or locally known as dampalit, is a plant that thrives in coastal environments. So you will often find it growing naturally along the embankments of fish ponds. So dun po sila tumutubo sa mga pilapil po ng ating mga palaisdaan. And one of its most recognizable features is its thick, fleshy dark green leaves, which have a distinct salty taste. And in some cases, you may also notice yung nagbe-bear po siya ng flower, which is color light pink to purple. So what's particularly interesting is that yung dampalit na ito has a branching stems and kumpol-kumpol lang po sila sa mga pilapil ng ating palaisdaan. So sometimes you can, pwede po natin sila mapagkamalan ng mga damo. So according to the literatures, the nutritional profile and functional benefits of sea purslane include the antioxidant properties, a good source of vitamins, a wide range of minerals, protein, and a good source of dietary fiber. And aside from this, dampalit is tolerant to floods and droughts as well, making it a highly resilient and sustainable, particularly in climate vulnerable coastal areas. In addition to its nutritional value, dampalit has many uses also, both in food systems and in environmental applications. So some literatures has reported that this plant is used as food for animals. It also plays a role in the bioremediation of contaminated soil and water. And it also supports erosion control because this plant sprawling growth habit and fibrous roots help stabilize coastal soil, reducing the erosion risk in pond embankments. And according to some farmers nga po na nakausap ng aming team, minsan sinasadya po nila talaga itong itanim sa mga pilapil ng kanilang palaisdaan to protect it from the erosion. And some studies have also indicated that it serves as a pest and disease control for crops, as well as medicinal herb in folk medicine. And lastly, it is an edible vegetables for human consumption. So some of the fisher folks that we were able to encounter informed us na ginugulay nga talaga nila itong dampalit. Actually, this atsarang dampalit is traditionally prepared already in some coastal areas of Pampanga and Bulacan. However, we can see that there's a wide variation in taste, safety, and shelf life. And we can see na ito ay binebenta na nga po sa mga palengke in Pampanga and Bulacan. Since our team recognized the potential of this product, we standardize the process and enhance its quality, ensuring its compliance with food safety and marketing standard. And this is crucial no, if the product is to enter formal markets such as yung mga pasalubong centers natin, supermarkets, or yung mga institutional buyers. In addition, we aim also to strengthen the marketing and promotion of Atsarang Dampalit. So this involves product branding, improved packaging, labeling, and online visibility to enhance the product value and market reach. And since processing at Sarang Dampalit is a livelihood that can be done through community-based enterprises, so it supports income diversification and in the long run will generate employment opportunities for our fisher folk. No? And also these projects enable the utilization of natural resources in Sasmu and Pampanga where sea purslane is abundant. So I know marami yung mga nagtatanong sa inyo no, kung bakit dampalit. So first and foremost, it is locally available and these raw materials are accessible without requiring expensive inputs or transportation fees para sa ating mga fisher folk. Second, it is cheap. Minsan nga po some pond owners are giving it for free since it grows naturally naman in saline or coastal zone and it doesn't need fertilizer, irrigations, or maintenance, making it highly cost-effective for community processing. And third, the pickling technology is already familiar to many communities. So this allow for easier adoption because it builds on traditional food preservation knowledge with some minor improvements in food safety and packaging. So hindi na mahihirapan ang ating mga fisher folk to adopt this kind of innovation. Another thing is it is a new variant of pickled product. Since yung familiar lang po sa atin, or most of us is only familiar sa atsarang papaya, no? So this is a new variant of pickled product. And lastly, there is a growing demand for high quality and nutritious ready-to-eat foods. So consumers are now healthy conscious and prefer products that are both functional and convenient. So now we will be briefly introduce to you the processing of the atsarang dampalit. But first, these are the ingredients that we need to prepare. So this is actually the usual ingredient that is commonly used when we do any pickle product, no? But here we use two different kinds of vinegar. So this is to balance the sour taste during the product standardization. The sensory panelists kasi during the product standardization commented na sobrang asim daw. So we countered this by using or by combining two types of vinegar. So let's now walk through the preparation process prior to pickling. So we begin with the harvesting of dampalit, which is done manually. So ginugupit lang po ito galing sa pilapil ng mga palaisdaan. And once harvested, the dampalit is sorted and picked to remove damaged leaves. Only young, tender shoots are selected to ensure the optimal taste and texture for pickling. Then perform a thorough washing with clean water. So this is to remove any soil, sand, or debris. And this is important also not to meet the food safety standard and maintain the cleanliness of the final product. Then after washing, the dampalit is dried to remove the excess moisture. So these steps ensures that water does not dilute the pickling solution, which could affect the product's shelf life later on. Then the clean and dried dampalit is stored temporarily in cold storage if not processed immediately. So this helps preserves the freshness of the leaves before the pickling process begins. So the next step here is the preparation of the packaging materials. So we need to wash the jars and lids using clean water and food-grade detergent. Then sterilize the bottles in the boiling water and cooled and dried completely. So for the cooking and production of acharang dampalit, begin by blanching the dampalit leaves to reduce its natural saltiness. So this step also helps maintain the vibrant color of the dampalit leaves. Then prepare other ingredients such as the carrots, onions, and others. So the usual ingredients when we do the pickled products. Next is the cooking of the pickling solution by combining vinegar, sugar, salt, and spices. So this solution is brought to boiling until all ingredients dissolve and blend uniformly. Then mix all the dry ingredients. So this ensures that every bottle contains a well-balanced mix of vegetables, colors, and texture before the liquid is added. And once all ingredients are ready, we proceed with filling the sterilized jars, starting with the solid ingredients, followed by the hot pickling solution. And filling is done carefully to avoid the air pockets and ensure proper preservation. And after filling, the jars are immediately sealed to prevent contamination. Then perform the pasteurization. So this is the important food safety step. Now, once the jars have cooled, we proceed with labeling, then storage. So this standardized process of atsarang dampalit or this innovation has now been formally recognized and protected under the IPO. So this is to ensure that the technology is being promoted, transferred, and scaled up responsibly with proper attribution and technical guidance. So maybe some of you will wonder about the quality of the raw materials, no? And its safety. So our team actually conducted heavy metals analysis, and the result naman is far below the respective standard limits. So we also confirmed the species or the scientific name to ensure that the dampalit is correctly identified. In terms of the physicochemical properties, the measured pH of the product here is 4, which meets the acceptable safety threshold. So this level of acidity is important for preservation and for inhibiting the growth of harmful microorganism and microbial safety. So the water activity on the other hand also meets the standard, uh, indicating that the product is stable when properly sealed. So in terms of the microbial quality, the results show excellent compliance with food safety regulatory standards. In short, this result confirmed that the standardized method of atsarang dampalit is both safe for consumption and shelf stable, meeting the necessary standards for both local distribution and potential scale up into the larger markets. So in terms of the nutritional value, each 50 grams serving of dampalit contains 40 calories with zero cholesterol, zero fat, and a low sugar content. And it has 350 milligrams of sodium, which is atypical for pickled products, but still within safe levels when consumed in moderation as part of a balanced diet. And it is also a good source of dietary fiber and protein. So in summary, Atsarang Dampalit meets the growing consumer demand for healthy, ready-to-eat options, especially for those seeking to incorporate more plant-based foods into their diets. And to add also, no, this atsarang dampalit can last actually up to 6 months as long as nasa proper storage po ito. So for the consumer acceptability, the product consistently scored around 8 in terms of taste, appearance, and overall liking, indicating high consumer acceptance. And for the descriptive evaluation, Asarang Dampalit was described as a mix of light yellow, orange, and dark green thin vegetables in a light yellow liquid with odor of a typical achara smell and without any off odors. So the taste is noted to have a slight sourness, which is a characteristic of a pickled products, and no off taste is noted. And for texture, it was described as chewy, which can be due to the fibrous characteristic of the dampalit leaves. So to understand the market acceptability, our team gathered feedbacks from around 508 respondents through a consumer survey. And as you can see from the graphic, the majority of the respondents indicated that they are either very likely or likely to purchase. And a very small segment remained neutral, while only a few were unlikely to make a purchase. So this indicated that the product has a strong purchase intent. So when the respondents were asked if they would recommend the product to others, the majority expressed a high likelihood of recommending it to their family, friends, or acquaintances. So this kind of promotion, which is through word of mouth, is a strong indicator of consumer trust and satisfaction. So with regards to the packaging preferences, the best packaging format for Atsarang Dampalit as per the consumer survey is the majority preferred glass jars. So which supports also our current packaging approach for the Atsarang Dampalit. So our team also conducted a willingness to pay survey, and these are the price ranges consumers are willing to pay for one bottle. So we can see here that the minimum price is 80 pesos per bottle and the maximum price is 136 pesos per bottle. So this gives us flexibility in the pricing strategy, whether targeting pasalubong centers or community markets while maintaining profitability and market reach. And to build awareness and drive market interest in Atsarang Dampalit, we implemented various marketing and promotional activities. So targeting both physical and digital platforms. So on the online side, we leverage social media platforms such as Facebook, to highlight the product's features, health benefits, and community impact. And we publish promotional materials as well, including infographics, videos, and product milestones announcement. So our team similarly participated in exhibits and trade fairs organized by the NFRDI and other partner agencies to showcase the Atsarang Dampalit. So here we compute the cost and return just to give you a brief idea. No? So baka ma-overwhelm kayo sa figures, but here we consider a full year of operation already, and our assumptions are based on the production around 600 bottles per week and selling each bottle at 129, which is pasok dun sa range no price that the consumers are willing to pay. And we consider also here yung mga fixed costs, which includes permits and certifications, repairs and depreciation of investment capital, such as yung mga land, yung processing area po natin. No? Because part ng pagiging sustainable ng ating mga food businesses sa market is yung pag-comply sa ating mga food regulatory standards, and isa nga po dun ang pagkakaroon ng dedicated processing facility. So the computed rate of return here is 21%. So this is already financially viable, no, the ROI. So the standardized Atsarang Dampalit process was already cascaded to the Fisher Folk Association in Sasmuan, Pampanga. So our office supported them with the provision of inputs, including essential processing equipment and materials for the production of Atsarang Dampalit. And our office also provides capacity building session, which includes the proper processing technique for Atsarang Dampalit, food safety and good manufacturing practices, standard sanitation operating procedures, the correct handling of raw materials, ingredients, and packaging, as well as the marketing strategies for sustainability, including the certification and permits that needs to be complied with. So right now, this group or our beneficiary is producing home-based pa lang because the processing facility that was put up by the local government unit of Sasmuan is inaayos pa, and it's already on its finishing touches actually. So once that facility is settled already and finished, the association can have a full-blown production na rin. So this is our team that worked to transform the underutilized local plant into a market-ready product. So our former executive director, Dr. Garcia, conceptualized the project after personally observing the abundance of Dampalit in Pampanga. Then our product development team and marketing team under Dr. Monto's leadership worked together in the formulation, processing method, quality assurance, and market assessment, as well as the cascading and promotional strategies. And before I conclude, I just want to acknowledge the funding support from the DA Bar, which made this innovation and cascading to the Fisher Folk possible, and our project collaborator, the local government unit of Sasmuan. So these innovations demonstrates that when science and work of our communities come together, we can create something meaningful, and that we can work hand in hand toward sustainable development. So we encourage every Filipino to believe in local products, support our fisher folk and small entrepreneurs. So thank you so much, everyone. And thank you so much for those who are watching us in live.
So much, Miss Berna, for this interesting and comprehensive presentation on our pickled sea purslane and its market. At also, I agree po, ma'am, na sobrang ang laki ng potential ng magagawa natin once science, community, and collaboration meet talaga. So I hope mas dumami pa po ang ating science-backed collaborations for enterprise development. So thank you, Ms. Berna. Anyway, before we proceed to our Q&A, again, we encourage everyone to ask questions to Ms. Berna. Hindi po siya laging andito. And also, we already posted the attendance sheet and the feedback form. Hanapin nyo na lang po sa ating comment section. And please answer both to get certificates. And also, ma'am, tingnan po natin, silipin po natin, or more like, tingnan natin kung ano yung ating demographics for today. So for today po, 66% ang ating kababaihan and 71% of the total audience ay around 20 years old. So 20 to 29-year-olds. Tapos, yung pinakamadami po, lahat naman po ng regions may viewers, pero yung pinakamadami are from Calabarzon and Central Luzon. And madami po tayong students comprising a quarter of the whole demographics. And yung agency or institutions po na affiliated sila, a third are from state universities and colleges, tapos from our DA family, and yung iba parang not really affiliated sa atin. Tapos meron pong from LGUs and many more. So meron din po tayong members ng indigenous cultural communities. Meron din po tayong mga kapatid with persons with disability, and also from the fisher folk and farmer cooperatives and associations such as LU Farmers Multipurpose Cooperative, Mabini Farmer Association, Katubigan Agriculture Cooperative, and meron din po tayong from Rural Improvement Club. Hello po sa ating mga kababaihan from Giniyangan Rural Improvement Club. Ayun, thank you po sa ating audience, and especially ma'am, thank you sa pagpaunlak po sa amin. Ngayon po, magsistart na po tayo.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you. So, ito po ma'am, ako po, personal curiosity ko po to. Ano po yung, ano po yung general na panlasa ng mga Pinoy in terms of atsara? Ano po yung prefer nilang texture, taste, odor? May nakuha po ba kayo sa inyong studies?
Actually, we were not able to capture that, no, yung sa taste or taste preference. Pero actually, most of the po kasi, the Filipino taste buds is like into po sila into pag when we ask them about the pickled products, their perception is already parang maasim po siya na matamis. So that's also actually yung parang tinatry po namin i-address dito sa Dampalit. Kasi when we compare this Dampalit into papaya, which is already commonly available in the market as pickled product, magkakaiba po kasi yung texture nila. Kasi yung sa papaya, we can taste it as a crunchy po siya compared to Dampalit that is fibrous, kaya which resulted to the chewy po na taste or texture po ng product ng Dampalit at sarang Dampalit. So siguro I encourage na lang po everyone who are curious on the taste of the atsarang Dampalit to try to purchase and to try the taste of the atsarang Dampalit.
Saan po kaya namin sila pwedeng makuha? So mostly po nasa Region 3 yung ninyo,
yes.
diba? So currently po, available po ba siya sa, say, online markets or here in NCR?
So far po kasi, ma'am, we don't have any
Ano, ma'am? Ma'am, medyo ano po ata yung... Hello, ma'am, medyo ano po yung... kumawala po yung internet connection niya kanina. Pwede po pa kayo ulit.
Okay. So, ngayon po, ma'am, we don't have any parang outlet po dito sa Manila, yung beneficiary po namin. And yung market po nila is based on the order basis lang po so far. But if we want po to try, we can actually contact the local government unit of Sasmuan because this product is available po sa kanilang pasalubong center. So, siguro hindi naman po ganun kamahal if we request the LGU to ship from Sasmuan to Metro Manila po.
So contact the local government of Sasmuan.
Yes,
Meron
ma'am.
ba
Kasi
samples in case in NFRDI?
for the NFRDI po kasi, ma'am, we do not process and sell it. We already cascaded this technology na po sa ating beneficiary, and they are the one who's selling this already po. But as per I mentioned earlier, yung beneficiary po natin so far is as per order basis pa lang po yung kanilang production. And for those po na nagtatanong how they can purchase this product, I can message you po and then give you the contact number of our beneficiaries po.
Thank you, ma'am. Curious din po ako, kasi eto po, although may mga nagluluto or gumagawa na ng atsarang dampalit ever since, parang ano po yung mga main considerations nyo talaga kasi diba, it's hard to do something if you don't know the standard talaga. So paano nyo inisip na dapat ganito yung output natin, dapat ganito yung product na makampapan natin. Ano po yung mga factors na kinonsider nyo na priority?
So actually po yung standardize po nung ating atsarang dampalit is our product development team. So they actually followed several steps during the standardization process. From the una po is ginawa nila yung existing na process na ginagawa nung ating beneficiary, and then they conduct sensory panelists. So on what specific texture, taste to further improve. And then they also actually compare this one to other pickled products that is existing on the market. And after the standardization process na po, the finalization of the formulation is according to the acceptance na po during our consumer survey. If okay na po ba yung lasa, texture, and other product consideration po ng atsarang dampalit.
Nabasa ko nga po, parang in-incorporate nyo agad yung mga comments ng mga nag-taste test. And after that, parang when you had some kind of a post-test or post-interview with the newly improved atsara, mas gusto na po nila. So it's good that nakikinig tayo sa boses ng ating market.
Yes, ma'am. Kasi after all po, yung target naman po talaga natin is ma-market itong product. So we need to listen to the consumers. What are their preference po? So that's how our product development team standardized the formulation of the atsarang dampalit po.
Thank you, ma'am. Also, this one is from G. Neves. So, good morning po. What are the common challenges encountered in processing atsarang dampalit?
So, thank you so much, Sir G, for your question. Actually, siguro yung isa dun sa mga challenge is yung first and foremost is yung ating I cannot say na challenge po ito, pero siguro yung sa raw materials. Kasi yung mga nagpo-process po nung ating dampalit is sourcing out their raw materials from the fish pond po. So yung mga owners po ng fish pond na yon, they need to coordinate and they need to ask permission so that they can access the raw materials. Pero as far as we have interviewed some of our beneficiaries, so far the pond owners there in Sasmuan, Pampanga is very supportive to our fisher folk so that they can diversify their income. So parang ang nangyari, inaalaw po silang mag-access doon sa mga fish pond to get or to source out these raw materials of atsarang dampalit. But make sure lang po siguro yun yung mga pinapaalala ng ating pond owners that with moderation, kasi yung purpose po ng kanilang pagtanim po ng atsarang dampalit is to protect the pond embankment po para ma-avoid yung soil erosion dun sa mga pilapil ng palaisdaan. So yun po, yung mga yun na siguro yung challenge kasi yung farmers natin is some of the fisher folk that process this dampalit do not have or do not have their own fish ponds. So nakikipag-coordinate po sila sa pond owners. But as far as yun nga po, as far as we know, the pond owners are very supportive naman po for the income diversification of the fisher folk, and they allow them to access this dampalit naman po.
Thank you, Ms. Perna. Yung confirm ko lang po, yung mga fund owners po na sinasabi nyo, they're also members of the organization or the FCA na yung beneficiary nyo?
Not everyone, ma'am. Not everyone po. Kasi yung other members of the association are yung asawa ng mga boat operators. So not everyone have the own fish farms where they can source out the raw materials.
Okay, ma'am. At this point po, so as I understand, pa siya, parang approaching pa lang siya sa stage na kaya talaga siyang mapadami, ma-scale yung production. Ano po so far yung nakikita niyong challenge, or if you have current challenges in expansion? So
siguro po yung availability ng processing plant where our beneficiary can process and they can full blast na process, no? Kasi if we expand our market, isa po dun sa kailangan natin is yung dedicated talaga na processing plant. And for now naman po, our collaborator in Sesmuan, Pampanga is very supportive, and they are finalizing the processing plant where our beneficiary can process the atsarang dampalit. Kasi itong atsarang dampalit actually is one of their products sa OTOP. That's why they're very supportive, and they actually provided processing facility sa ating mga fisher folk that process this atsarang dampalit.
Very supportive po talaga ang LGUs na naging part.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So actually, that's one also of our criteria. No, if we select our beneficiary, we need to have a courtesy with the LGU because we really need them if we want this project or collaboration to be successful. Kasi hindi tayo makagalaw sa ground, no, if without the support of the local government unit.
We really need to complement each other po in terms of resource and knowledge sharing. So far, ma'am, curious din po ako, have you explored na po into actually farming the dampalit? Kasi kung right now medyo, as you said earlier, medyo challenging pag-acquire ng raw materials, na-explore niyo na po ba yung idea na what if i-farm siya?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, isa po yun sa mga iniisip ng ating beneficiaries during our cascading, no? In case po na the market of this atsarang dampalit will expand already, they are planning already na some dedicated area for the farming of the atsarang dampalit in Sesmuan, Pampanga.
That's good to hear po, ma'am. Anyway, we'll be moving on to our next questions. So, ma'am, did you consider the antibiotics contamination and plant toxic potentially toxic elements daw po sa raw materials ng dampalit?
Yes, ma'am. Since the safety of the raw materials is one of our key considerations, no, when we process food products. So we conducted chemical analysis specifically to check for some potential toxic elements such as the heavy metals po, specifically yung mga cadmium, lead, and mercury. And as I've shown earlier, the results confirmed naman po that all levels were within the allowable limits set by the food safety standards. And in some cases naman po, there are some little ng heavy metals, but these elements, in some cases po, some elements are not detected at all. And as for the antibiotics naman po, the contamination of antibiotics actually is parang parang common po siya dun sa mga food or animal-based food products. And for the dampalit naman po, I think the antibiotics contamination is very minimal. And ano naman po, when we do the atsarang process, atsarang dampalit processing, we ensure that the source of raw materials came from the non-contaminated embankment. So that's what we are trying to advise in our beneficiaries. No? They should source out their dampalit away from those fish ponds that are away from the household, so that at least ma-minimize po yung mga contamination which can be physically or chemically contaminants. And we also emphasize to them po actually the proper cleaning and handling procedures that they need to follow during the processing para po at least ma-minimize po itong mga contamination. And we can ensure that the products that they are producing is safe for the public consumption.
Thank you, Ms. Berna. That's a lot of input for one short question. Thank you po. So according to Ms. Berna, they made sure to follow the maximum safety protocol, kumbaga. So away from potential contaminants such as malapit sa mga bahay, and of course they double check din with their test for heavy metals, and of course yung pag-process nila, they made sure na yung mga nasa within safe levels yung mga na-process nilang products. Next question po. What is the purpose of the utility model and standardization? Tapos after this daw po, can it be transferred to the Fisher po?
Yeah, yes po, ma'am. That's actually the ultimate goal, no, after the standardization and the registering the product on the IPO is to cascading it to the Fisher Folk. So the utility model actually serves to legally protect the product formulation and processing method of Atsarang Dampalit, and it ensures that the innovation, both the recipe and the process, is recognized as original and developed by the project team. And it also helps the proper or to prevent the unauthorized commercial use by the others. So standardization, on the other hand, ensures that the product is safe, consistent, and highly quality every time that it is made. So even if we already cascaded this technology to our beneficiary, since alam na cascade na po namin yung standard process, we are already confident that this product is safe and quality. So isa rin also, no, to purpose nung standardization na kahit kanino pa po namin is cascade yung technology na to, same po yung product na po produce, and specifically yung safety and yung quality. And yung standardization actually includes the clear steps of preparations, yung mga cooking, packing, and labeling, as well as the required safety and cleanliness standards. And once both the utility model is secured, the process is standardized na rin, it creates actually a solid foundation for the technology transfer. So meaning the knowledge can be now safely shared, training can be conducted, Fisher Folk or association can replicate the process as a livelihood. And yes, after this stage, it can already be officially transferred to Fisher Folk groups through training and to other as well, other cooperatives if they're willing to adopt this technology, and ensure that the benefits of this innovation go back to the community. Because after all, what we are doing should go back to the community.
Thank you po. So, ma'am, so you have standardized procedure and we have a utility model. So once you transfer this to the Fisher Folk sa mga ating groups, sa ating FCAs, may body po ba na mag-check sa kanila if they're following the standards that you've set?
What do you mean from our team, ma'am? If they are properly applying
government.
the standards?
It could be a government body, it could be your team. Kasi po, since may possibility po na since makita ng mga tao na you are distributing, you are selling, you are putting it in the market, may possibility na there would be other people na gumawa lang sila ng sarili nila without really following the standards that you have set. May way po ba to check if these products na hindi nyo na-train would be following the standards then?
For now po, ma'am, wala po kaming method to determine if the standardized process of dampalit was actually practiced also by other association that is not our beneficiary. So siguro for us na lang, since we actually have naman na po, trust the associations and our beneficiary that this standardized process of dampalit is for them. And they will not share this one to other association without our permission. So siguro so yung question po natin dito, ma'am, is what's the difference of our standardized at sarang dampalit from the others, no? So how can we determine them? Yung sa amin po kasi, yung existing po kasi na nakita natin at sarang dampalit dun sa market is pack only on the plastic containers. And yung sa amin po is bottled na po. And yung sa amin po, we make sure na yung association actually really process it based on the quality standards and following the GMP. So it's safe na po. So we can say that that's the edge of the product of our beneficiaries from the other processors po ng atsarang dampalit.
This point po ba, ma'am, has the product been certified by different bodies? Halimbawa, kung na-certify ba siya ng halal or ng kung ano-ano? Or are we still in the process of having it certified by different bodies po?
Still on the process po, ma'am. Kasi yung next step na po kasi dun, ma'am, if they already have the dedicated facility, is yung registration na po ng product. Kasi isa rin po yung facility sa requirement po natin to register our product under the FDA. So, yun po yung next step po ng beneficiaries natin, yung i-register po ng product after the completion of the processing po.
Sana po mas madami pang mag-fund sa inyo na bodies para mas mapadali yung ating building ng facility and mas mapabilis din yung ating pagpa-certify.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, that's one of the criteria that we are making sure if we transferred the technology to our beneficiary, if the local government as well will support us. Kasi hindi po namin kaya na kami lang specifically po dun sa mga facilities. So some actually of the local government units have already existing facilities. So mas favor po yun for us if they already have this one facility. So tutulungan na lang po namin sila how to further refurbish or further upgrade their facility for the beneficiary to benefit and for the beneficiary to expand their market using those transferred na technologies po.
Thank you, ma'am. So, ma'am, ano po yung gano'n po kadaming LGUs yung may facility specifically for making pickles, or may mga po ba kayo? May mga LGUs po ba na may facility sila for other food processes or processing other food products, pero kaya niyong magamit din sa pag-process ng pickles?
Yung beneficiary lang po kasi namin, ma'am, nag-focus po sa Sasmuan. And Sasmuan po have a existing facility. So
For Atsara po
yes, ma'am. We're not able po to actually, we actually try to coordinate with other LGUs as well. So minsan po kasi hindi rin po natin sila masisi if they're not responsive, no? So, dun po kami sa mga LGUs that are very supportive and very responsive on our proposed collaboration po for the fisher folks. Actually, we also try in Bulacan because some of this Dampalit is also available in Bulacan. But I think yung ibang focus po kasi ng Bulacan, I mean, marami na po kasing existing products dun sa Bulacan. So, that's why we focus here in Sesmuan na lang po.
Thank you. Mabuti nga po na maximize nyo yung One Town, One Products scheme nila.
Yes, ma'am. Kasi yun nga po, isa rin po yun when we talk with the local government unit, isa rin po yun sa target nila that they should include it in their OTOP. So, yun po, dun po kami nag-swak po nung targets po. And became our collaboration successful because we have this common goal po.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, also na-discuss mo po ba yung shelf life ng atsarang Dampalit?
Yes, ma'am. Based on the results of our analysis po, 6 months po, ma'am. Yung, yes po, 6 months yung kanyang shelf life before it can be considered not safe to consume na. Pero actually, some of the pickled naman kasi is, or some of the products can last years. Pero it depends po doon sa processing, how we handle the processing, and how we handle the packaging po. So far po kasi yung ginawa po natin is, kung manotice po natin na simple lang po yung mga kailangan nating gamit because, and yung ating method on the pickling, because we want this one to be adapted easily by our fisher folks. Kasi, if we include other mga technicalities to expand the shelf life of the product, we will be having a hard time po to transfer this one sa ating mga fisher folk if masyado na pong technical yung process. So that's why we prefer our innovations is simple and very adaptable for the fisher folk.
That's very considerate of you po, ma'am. So that's one of the evidence lang. Parang that's one of the parang personification ng collaboration talaga with the community. So thank you po for considering that. Ma'am, we'll be on to our last question before we ask the usual questions. So, yun na po. If the processing is already commercialized and established, sustainable po ba ang Dampalit? And can it meet the demand daw po ba?
For me po, yes. Because based naman po on current observation and our field validation, Dampalit, we can consider Dampalit is sustainable. So, since naturally naman po siyang abundant dun sa ating mga pilapil, no? And it grows wild along the pilapil ng mga palaisdaan natin and does not require mga fertilizer or mga inputs. So, we just want to, our advice lang po sa ating mga beneficiaries that they should have agreements with our fund owners on how they can access this Dampalit. And isa pa po kasing characteristic ng Dampalit is fast-growing po siya and resilient. And it can tolerate drought. So we also advise that during the harvest, hindi po nila bunutin and just trim po during the harvest so that mabilis po siyang mag-regrow ulit. And Dampalit can also be intentionally, pwede rin po siyang i-propagate or it can be intentionally propagated through stem cuttings, no, for a more controlled supply, especially if production scales up already. So yun po siguro yung magiging action po ng ating beneficiaries if they expand already their market, they should have the cultivation na po ng Dampalit.
Thank you, ma'am. So, yun, kino-consider niyo po talaga yung sustainability ng production. And sana po mas masustain pa tong initiative natin pag nag-expand tayo by farming or cultivating the Dampalit. Madali lang naman po pala ma-cultivate. Parang hindi naman po pala masela ng Dampalit since it's abundant and
yes,
hindi
ma'am,
kayo
yes.
anong pataba or anything. Anyway,
yes, ma'am. Kaya
go po.
Kaya yun nga po ma'am, kasi nakitaan po namin siya ng mga potential. So, that's why we actually into the innovation of this product. Kasi aside from the, yun nga po, as per the recommendation of our former executive director, na nakita na po talaga niya ng potential itong product na to. And our team as well want this product to expand, not just yung i-local market lang po siya.
Thank you, ma'am. So our last two questions, ano po ang inyong message or words of wisdom to our researchers in the agri-fishery sector?
Okay, so that's very hard question, ma'am. So, for me po, actually, as a researchers, my message is the world is full of challenges, so let us not stop finding solutions. I know that conducting research is not easy. So behind every data set, field work, and experiments, it is there's a bigger purpose on that than ourselves to improve the lives of the Filipinos as well our communities. And since research is not always easy, it demands time, patience, but always remember that every small discovery brings us one step closer to impact. So let us continue to work with integrity, collaboration, and compassion, and keep going to our fellow researchers.
Thank you, ma'am. That's very insightful. And also, ang ganda po nung sinabi mo na dapat purpose-driven ang ating research. Kasi mahirap talaga yung research. And for you to endure, for you to sustain your initiative, dapat talaga lagi mong iisipin na this is for the greater good, this is for the community. So, kakayanin natin ito. Thank you, ma'am. And last po, ano po yung message mo para sa ating farmers?
Farmers, I mean specifically siguro dun sa ating mga fisher folk, no? So we are from the fishing community. So thank you all for your hard work. We know your job is not easy, but we hope that you never lose hope. And we also encourage you to join training that can help improve your income, specifically for those our MSMEs or mga small scale po na fisher folk. And we are here to support you as you move forward. And maraming salamat po sa ating mga fisher folk, sa inyong sipag, tiwala, at walang sawang paglilingkod sa ating bayan.
Totoo nga po. I agree po na yung ating fisher folk in your case and of course farmers in the farm, yung ating stewards of food, kumbaga. Maliban po sa naghahanap buhay sila, we should give them a lot of credit kasi sila yung nagpapakain sa atin. They are basically the backbone and energy ng ating bansa. And sana po yung mga farmers and mga fisher folk and farmers po natin, sana po mas maka-avail din kayo ng trainings na pinag-aralan ang conduct ng ating ng DA in general. So yun po, please wag po kayong mag-hesitate connect sa DA, sa NFRDI, sa DA BAR, and sa other agencies under the Department of Agriculture. Kasi po, it would be good na with your potential, mas mahon pa po natin siya. Sayang po ng resources natin, sayang ng skills nyo, ng talino nyo, ng husay nyo, kung hindi natin siya mapapagsama-sama to drive the greater good, kumbaga. So thank you, ma'am. And thank you so much, Ms. Berna, for generously sharing your expertise and passion to the public. So meron po kaming certificate dito for you. So,
thank you so much po. And thank you so much everyone for those who are from live. And I can see actually na meron pa pong mga question, ma'am, no, sa comments. So I will try to answer them afterwards po by replying directly in the comments. So thank you so much everyone. I hope I've shared something that move you. So my advice also as well to our viewers na don't stop innovating and don't stop yung ating mga ginagawa, let's have the purpose for everyone.
Thank you, ma'am. So basahin ko lang po yung certification. So, the TEA Bureau of Agricultural Research awards the Certificate of Appreciation to Ms. Berna Josel Jalin Espaldoza, MABM RFP, for sharing her invaluable knowledge during the TEA Bar Online Seminar Series at Charang Dampalit Product Process and Market Insights, held on the 17th of July 2025 by StreamYard and TEA Bar Facebook page. Given the 17th day of July 2025 in Diliman, Quezon City, signed by TEA Bar OIC Director Sir Joel H. Dale. So this concludes our online seminar at Charang Dampalit Product Process and Market Insights. And muli maraming salamat po, Ms. Berna. And again, yung attendance sheet and feedback form po, pakisagutan po before 12 noon. And if you have questions on the seminar, please follow the Facebook page of Ms. Berna's agency. So it's NFRDI Philippines on Facebook, or you can type facebook.com/NFRDI Philippines, or message nyo na lang po TEA Bar so that we can forward your questions to NFRDI, especially makarating kay Ms. Berna. Pero feeling ko po sisipagin si Ms. Berna na magsagot ng questions sa ating comment section. So our social media page again is TEA Bar Official, or search nyo lang at search nyo lang TEA Bureau of Agricultural Research, and on IG, it's at TEA Bar Official. To learn more about our online seminar series that we hold monthly and other activities of bar that might benefit or interest you. Again, we would like to thank Ms. Berna from DA and of RTI, and we're hoping for the success of our Charang Dampalit in the domestic and hopefully international market soon. Thank you din po sa ating participants for our knowledge sharing today. Also, last na po, Ms. Berna, may gusto ka po bang sabihin, pasalamatan, or gusto ka po bang i-plug?
So far naman po, ma'am, wala na po. But I want to plug as well yung incoming event po ng aming office, which is the National Scientific Conference, the SciCon. So you can just visit our Facebook page po for some of the announcement if you want to participate in the poster as well. So you just visit po our Facebook page for some of the information. So baka pwede po kayo dun. So thank you so much everyone for supporting our office activities.
Thank you, Ms. Berna. So, yung DA family po natin, including DA, NFRDA, TEA Bar, and all other agencies under the Department of Agriculture, we have activities that are for you, for our farmers, our fisher folk. So, please, huwag po kayong mag-hesitate na mag-visit sa aming Facebook pages, sa aming website, or you can find a way to contact us. Or you can just contact our regional offices and maybe educate. We can just connect with each other. Kasi po, we really need to collaborate para ma-move for the greater good of the people. So thank you, Ms. Berna, and palakpakan at pusuan po natin siya. Dito na po nagtatapos ang ating free online seminar for July. Ito po si Tin at isang mapagpalang umaga sa ating lahat. Kita-kita po tayo sa sunod na seminar at sa mga susunod pa. Thank you po.